Oh. Big stretchy flew up. So we start our day. Chew my lip crusties off. Because I sit here with my robot dicks. I need to cut this shit out. These super fogs are legit though. Great way to start your morning. You think so too, Lua? Or you just want to play with your ball? There, now they can see you. So we start our day. Bed's all dirty. That's one thing I probably should do. Is clean the bed. Get another round of bed sheets. Decide if I'm gonna keep this bed or not. Well, this morning I don't have to do anything. That's the reason I'm partly convoluted on what the hell I'm supposed to do. Because I don't technically have to do anything. I don't owe anybody. I have no bills. So maybe I should just hang out with this guy. Why he's all happy. He's always happy in the mornings. You're happy all the time. Oh, you're happy all the time. It's our morning routine. I usually get up at like 3:30 in the morning. I get up. I open my eyes and I get on my phone, hit my vape pen a bunch of times, and then we get up about this time when the sun comes up a little bit more. We'll get up and go pee. I'll sit back on my phone and I'll take a little wee nap. It's nice. But today is Sunday and there is a farmer's market in Flagstaff, and I'm right outside of Flagstaff. Colorado peaches are in season, and there's some up there. But I did go to an interview yesterday. I met a lady named Rhonda. And she's looking for some moving help. And she didn't call me back yesterday. I went out to her property. She has property right north of Williams, and I guess some up in Valley. And get out of there. Anyway, I went to her property that was closer to Williams, and met two of her workers, and she is prepping one property to sell it, which is 40 acres, and she has a 1 acre property that she's moving a bunch of things to. And I have to work it out in my mind if it's going to be worth it to go out there. So I don't know what the living scenario would be. She said she has some campsites. So I can probably, I already know that I'd be her probably most productive asset that she's seen in a long time. And she's used to the same old rhetoric when people are looking for work. 90% of people, and I'm speaking of this coming from a management position, like until I worked with the most recent chef that I traveled with. It had been 10 years that I did not work under anybody, and there was I did staffing for my own pizza place inside the Horse and Hound, and then I had transferred over to Starters, and no real recruitment there. But then I transferred to my next place was Minder Binders, and within 3 weeks of working there, the kitchen manager that worked for the family and knew the operations, because it was Santan Flats that combined with Dough Trader from South Dakota. It's all the Bell family. And they, within 3 weeks, Coda, their kitchen manager they had already appointed that came from Santan Flats, looked at me and said, "You were more fit to run this kitchen," and handed the reins to me. And that was the biggest kitchen I've ever been in, not to date, but biggest line kitchen. And then that's still even true. I've been in bigger kitchens, but those were production kitchens. Those were catering kitchens. I have been in bigger kitchens in the Minder Binder kitchen, which is social hall now, but they were all catering scenarios. Oh, anyway, I built out that team. That was a big team. And then right after that, I built out another restaurant called Good Time Charlie's. And then I built out team there too. And most of the time, it took me a while to realize, and the pizzerias I went to later, I was building out teams. It took me a long time to realize that we have conditioned people to just get a job, just get a job, just get a job. And that is not you need to find a passion and find a way that a job lines up with your passion. If you get a job is the worst thing you could ever have, because then you're just collecting a paycheck. You have no goals going into the day when you clock in. That was your the goals pretty much stop at showing up on time. And then after that, it's not like, what can I learn about the curriculum, about this workforce or anything else and everything. But going forward with this lady, right? She texts me back. Well, first she didn't text me back yesterday when she told me. I went and met with her, and I'm real busy. Okay, I got to get this truck out of here. I'll give you a call back. I'll give you a call later today, and I'll let you know more. And this is after we've already discussed me moving the RV out that way, and I would have to tandem because I have a truck in tow that I'm not towing right now, but I'm not going to give up that utility. And again, I don't have to do anything. I'm not looking for a job. And this lady, it's so hard to let people realize that I am not most of society. Most of society functions in the same ways. They have the same sayings. They're they're all, it's all sources of sales. You're selling yourself in some way. And then most people, how they've sold themselves into positions, including people, the employers, when they sell the job, right? Oh, like everything goes out the window, right? Why haven't employers built a better curriculum to teach them exactly what they want, right? Say, you know, on day one, if I, like, before I hire you, if I ask you to do anything, are you willing to do it? Then yes, then that shouldn't change on day two. But all of those in both ways should be clarified. What's to be expected and what's going to be provided, you know, and in this case, you know, I have to politely tell her that, hey, if you pay attention to me having to move my RV, then I will be your most productive person. So we'll see. Fuck, I get on too many fucking rants. But there we go. That's how we start our morning. Oh. If I let him go, he's probably going to take off running right now. We're just running laps, but he's doing good on the leash training. Like, no leash training. He's only taken off on me once, and that was after a bunch of deer. That was like last week. You know, we were sitting right out here. He's sitting on the bed, and all of a sudden this guy just takes off running this way, and I start sprinting after him, and I'm looking ahead, you know, what is he chasing after? And as soon as I thought that, we were probably just to about the road, and then I seen the deer just shoot across. And then we took off running that way, because he just took off running this way, and I didn't see the deer at first. And then what he had done, he already had a cutoff path, and these deer were coming across all the way here, but he chose to go this way. So when I took off running after him, I didn't see what he was running after. And then when the deer got in our path, we were running an I formation all the way out that way until he slowly disappeared. You were so fast that day, huh, Lua? So fast. Now he likes to run in the mornings. Ooh. Yeah, I guess I'm taking this video because my style of content is going to be wildly different from everything else. I'm a victim of the system, and that's a over dramatic way of me putting that I am doing everything I'm doing because of my path, not because I've seen somebody else do it. It's led me, it's an accumulation of things that have led me down this route, and I'm very and it's been a solo route ever since I was 17. And then even as you see society around you have to abide by these systems and then get caught up like little leases, you know, a kid is a lease, a plant is a lease, a dog is a lease, you know, and the bigger lease agreements that people sign first are usually stuff like kids and marriage, and also I haven't had any support groups, right? And that's that solo kind of thing, that no family, no charity, no handouts, no close friends that have been there all the time. A slew of relationships, my whole they've been fun. A few were pretty traumatic, but those are very compounded for many different reasons. Anyway, let's get back. This is also a current status thing where I have to figure out how I am going to fix this. So I think I'm going to maybe get some glue and a straw, or like an injector, and then squeeze some glue up into these sides. Probably should pop the hood today too, start the engine. We can go ahead and boom, we're gonna see if this works. And it's not. So I have to get this thing perfectly level or it won't want to work. Or I can cheat. Sometimes if I flip this, you have high humidity in normal operation. You have gas in auto because it's electric or propane. But sometimes we can get it to flip. And there is one other trick that I can do. Which I might have a very strong magnet over here. And I can stick that on a solenoid. On the outside of this, I can pop this off. And then go up here, go normal operation, gas. One more time, no more clicks. I don't hear any more solenoids. So I'll take this strong magnet. Trust me, it's strong. I just have the ability to make it appear otherwise. Now there is a solenoid right on the back of this. And now you can hear I balance the magnet so it stays on there. And now we have the propane fridge on. Let's see. If I'm not level, I think this is what this solenoid, right? But now if I just balance that magnet on it, it's right up in there. Right up in there. That's a caliber magnet of some sort that I got from a hardware store. And now my magnet, now that's going. Why is that important? Because I did make some watermelon juice that has gone cloudy, so we won't touch that at all. All these pickles are cold to the touch. These ones are pretty old, probably go away. Jelly, don't worry about it. This is going in the trash. That looks like it's mold right there. Mold right on it. That's watermelon. This is why we're flipping the fridge on, right? I got this chicken a day and a half ago, and it's still very cold to the touch, and that's the only thing of my concern, and I plan on cooking that today. I do have some chorizo. I did cook some chorizo last night, and I have one more packet of chorizo. Organize this so it can shut, but I choose when to run this fridge. This is going to be thrown away. These are sweet potatoes. These are ice packs that are ice cold still solid in here, right? And then, what do I got? Cheese. I got cheese in here. We take these bags. Oh, that's lard up there. So lard, those are sweet potatoes for Lua. I've been feeding him. We keep all these bags over here. But I have like on cooking, right? I've cooked for most of my career, and if you're going to try to cook for yourself all the time, it is crazy. It's a chore. It's something that you have to commit to, like a workout routine, and understand that it is going to be wildly different than what you see on the commercial level. This is what it looks like when you're cooking for yourself, right? You just see me flip on my fridge, and I have chicken in there, and I felt that was cold. You know how far and how much of the internet will go crazy? You're gonna get sick. They're just not educated. They don't understand it. And if they were trying to manage the system, like, I don't want to run this propane fridge the whole time. I do have a battery hookup, but I'm not going to just drain my batteries. For one, propane, dual fuel fridges or use, right? If it's propane or electricity, they run much better on propane. And then in this case scenario, I haven't ran this fridge for almost 2 days now because those ice packs up top are still frozen solid. And I only have one thing that's questionable. And I ran the fridge like I am today, before I came back and put that in there. Today I'm running it. I do plan to cook that chicken tonight and piece it out. But there's a farmer's market in Flagstaff today. So I am going to keep this running. I don't like to have anything operating in the vehicle when I'm not here. So I'm going to try to run this for an hour or so before I go into town, and then hopefully that will give it plenty of ice. Recharge the ice packs, I should say. This is what it looks like when you're cooking for yourself all the time. I have to manage fruit flies quite a bit. You know what that means? That you have to just cook your shit. You have to cook. You don't leave stuff on the counter. I try to cook as fast as possible. This onion probably needs to go away. This is my last of my tomato. I have one more. I seen in here I have a jalapeno. I have some sweet potatoes for Lua. That jalapeno tomato. This onion's from last night. I should have put the butter away, but the butter in the freezer, and I have one more stick. So I have 1 1/4 stick. I use a lot of butter. But lemon, onion, this is all from yesterday. And then so I did make a batch of rice, which is in the fridge. And then this has been sitting out. It's pretty cold. I mean, it's cold out right now, or it's not cold. Not cold. I think it's like 60 degrees outside right now. Right? Probably 65. But inside here, it's pretty cool. And then last night, I eat this up. This is chorizo, tomatoes. I actually made those sweet potatoes that I cook for Lua. When I boil it in the water, I drain the water. Once they're soft, I don't discard it. This is what I added to my sauce. I'll throw this away. This is actually, you can see it's a fruit fly collector. So we're getting so many birds stoned out here at once, right? So when I'm cooking last night, I first boil for Lua's food, and then I drain that water off. When I drain that water, I was letting this cool, and then I started cooking for myself. And then half an onion goes in here. This pan had some remnants of fried rice in there, so egg and rice, just the remnants of like the very edge of the pan. And then I just heat it up, and then I kind of deglaze the pan, and that flavor goes in the next dish. And then this is chorizo, rice, tomato, jalapeno, bell pepper, and then it is sweet potato stock. You have butter, garlic. I had rosemary in there. I have a medley of peppercorns. I think I just put black pepper in there last night. But then, and then I took some of the rice that I had made the day before, and then I just threw it in there. And then today what I'll do is I'll actually take most of this out, put it in a container, and then I'll probably take like a quarter of this and heat it up and put a little bit more butter in this pan and drop an egg in there, and then I'll eat that for the breakfast, and then that pan will be ready to cook that chicken. See, this is I don't have to do anything, but I've chosen, right? It's one of the things I've chosen not to be obligated to anybody, anywhere, or anytime. And that means when I go talk to this lady, or when she calls me later today, I have to ask myself, is this, I have to express my interest, because if I move my vehicles over there, even though she's paying me and work will be easy, right? I like to work out, and moving these things, like the workforce is just weak and I'm just phenomenal, so and I've put myself in a position where I'm not at look, nobody's asking me to be anywhere. You know, Lua is just waiting for me to stop talking to myself and cook and play with him this morning and do some food. So, you know, but I'm all for how there is other reasons that I would like to go over north of Williams and the valley area, is to look at the property kind of landscape, see what these kind of areas are and everything else, you know. And there is benefits, you know, if I can get paid and have a campsite, which was the things that we didn't really go over. So I have to really tomorrow, I'll have to get through today and tomorrow. I think I'm gonna go over there and see how she feels and see how things go. I think I'm gonna wrap that up for now. 26 first time vlog. Cool.